All right, so I've been playing the Legends of Runeterra pre-beta. I don't know what to call it. Been having a lot of fun, but I wanted to make this quick overview, just kind of showing the basics of the game, how it works for everyone, just like a very high level overview of the game. By no means am I an expert. I've put in now 6 hours of the game, so I'm not an expert, but just kind of give basics of how it works for everyone. And I'm also going off of the knowledge, or I guess just as for people who've played card games before. So if you have a background in Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, I'm not going to go over the super basics of how a competitive card game works, like attack and defense and stuff, because that carries over. Very similar to like Hearthstone, Magic, games like that. But I just wanted to jump in, give you guys just like a basics of how it works, so you can kind of follow along, understand the game, see if it's something that you're even interested in. So we're just gonna take a deck here, jump in an AI game, and kind of go from there. So one thing that's very different is the turn system in this game. So we'll start from here. So at the start of the game, you get your mulligan phase. It shows you your 4 cards. You can choose to keep or replace them. In this specific deck, I'm gonna just replace a couple of these guys. Actually, we're gonna keep that because why not? And then it draws you new things. So right away, you'll notice something different about the game board as it is versus like a Hearthstone or Magic or whatever, is you have the little shield and the little sword. So each I'm gonna get the terminology wrong, so whatever, you can flame me for that. But there's an attack and a defense for each turn. So right now I'm on attack, which means I'll get to attack with my minions. So I'm gonna summon this guy. So mana works about the same here. As far as card costs, you have the mana cost is right at the top of the card, the top left. But it different from similar to Hearthstone, but different from Magic the Gathering. You get 1 mana crystal or 1 gem a turn. So which is the same as it is in Hearthstone if you played that. So I'm gonna summon this guy. He's a 3/2 guy. He just can't block. So since I'm on the attack phase, every time you play a card, also your opponent gets a chance to play a card as well, which is kind of cool. So we're in the attack phase, so we can choose to attack. So when you play a minion, they go on this little bench here. It kind of reminds me of Pokemon TCG in a way, but they go on this bench here. I want to attack with this guy. He's a 3/2 guy against this 1/1 sparring student. So I'm gonna get in there. This is a very aggressive deck anyways, and a lot of our minions are highly statted, but they can't block. So you throw your guys into, this is the battle area where attacking and blocking happen. So I'm going to attack with this. Combat plays out very similar to Magic the Gathering, where the defending player gets priority on choosing blocks unless you have a keyword called Challenger, which means your unit gets to choose that. The game has a lot of keywords. What's cool is if you right click on a card, it will tell you exactly what a keyword does. So like this, if we look at quick attack, it'll say why attacking strikes before its blocker, which is similar to first strike in Magic. So when you've put all your minions out here that want to attack, you click the attack, they'll choose if they want to block. It gives them the option. So he wants to block and they do damage. One thing about this is different from Magic the Gathering is your minions do not heal, or are they called creatures? Your units, I'm gonna call them minions. Your minions don't heal at the end of combat. So you can see this guy's taking 1 damage. He's gonna keep that damage. So our opponent here is on the attack this turn. So they'll get the chance to attack if they want to, but since he played something, I get the chance to play a minion if I want. So I'm going to play this guy here. This is a 3/2 guy with elusive. Elusive is like flying or horsemanship for you Magic people, so it means it can only be blocked by people that have that. I could do that, or I could play this spell here and kill this, which is another option as well. So spells in this game, they have different priorities. So you can interact on your opponent's turn, similar to Magic the Gathering, but different than Hearthstone. And the spells priorities, they go by different speeds. So slow spells, I don't have any of those. Oh, here we go. So slow spells here, you have to play those. You can't play them during combat. And then it gives your enemy a chance to respond to it. So a lot of these have very powerful effects, or their mana cost is more aggressive, but they have to be played before or after combat. They can't be played during combat. We have fast spells. These guys, they get to be played at any time, but your opponent gets to respond. And then even faster than that is burst spells, and burst spells, they just happen. So we're just gonna pass. We're not gonna play anything. We'll let him do a thing. And I'm actually just gonna play this here, do a damage to this guy, and hopefully kill it. He has no mana, as we can see, so he probably can't do anything about it. We'll let that resolve. A cool thing is, like, it uses, I don't think it's called obviously the stack, but it uses a stack similar to Magic, whereas all the spells that are being played kind of line up right here. A cool thing about the mana system in this game, any unused mana that you have, you can store up to 3 of it down here for spells, and I'm pretty sure it's just called spell mana. So that I had 1 unused mana at the end of my last turn, so it goes down in here to spell mana. So I have, on my turn here, I'm on the attack here, I have 4 mana I can use for a spell, or I have 3 mana that I can use for a minion and 1 for a spell. We're gonna summon this here fine lady here, give him the chance to respond to that. He did nothing, so I'm gonna drag my minions up here to the attack area and get in there. Another cool thing about this is a lot of the creatures or minions or heroes or whatever they're called, I'm not an expert, they have level up abilities, and so when they level up, it actually transforms the card and something happens. And then so on the card it has this, it'll say level up, and then the condition that needs to be met for it to level up. So for her, she has to attack, and then she bounces back and then levels up, and then it'll show you this is what she turns into when she levels up. So we'll let combat play out here. Give him the chance to cast any spells. You see she did a thing. She's gonna level up here and turn into this card here. Something else cool is when a card levels up, any copies of that card that you have level up as well. So you see I had another Katarina here. She also leveled up, which is pretty spicy. So we see our opponent did some stuff here. We can decide if we want to react to anything that happened here. We can deal 2 to a unit. We can also just play her, but she's better to play later. I think I'm just going to recall my guy because he's damaged. Recall plays it back to your hand. We're going to bounce it back. And then the game goes on from there. The object of the game, the end goal is to get your opponent. These are what are called the Nexus. So this is my Nexus here. This is his Nexus. The goal is to get your opponent from 20 health down to 0, which effectively kills them. There are ways you can heal this up, but I don't believe you can go over 20 health. So you're kind of stuck at the 20 health there. Yeah, so the objective is to get them to 0. We can choose to block with this if we wanted to. We could block this. We'll just block this guy.
Don't want any trouble.
See if he does anything. So you see he can recall a thing here with that spell. And like I said, I'm gonna call it the stack just because I'm used to Magic terms. Spells that are here exist in this area here. So I have the option to respond to this. So if I wanted to, I could do this deny, which is kind of like a counter spell, and I'll do it just to show you guys. So we're gonna play this here. We choose what we want to stop. We're gonna stop this thing from happening. Hit OK. And then it's going to effectively counter the spell he just played. The game is really cool. I'm really enjoying it so far. Again, I've only played about 6 hours, and it's obviously a lot more in depth than this, but I wanted to give you just kind of a high overview of how the game played out, what it's like, what the basic rules are, and go from there. I've really been enjoying it. I think the game is pretty awesome. I'm excited. I'll be playing a lot more of it when it comes out, obviously, or the next beta. I think it's coming in November something is the next closed beta. But I'm enjoying it. So hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully this is helpful. I had a lot of questions on how the game worked, and those are kind of just the basics on how the game functions. If you have questions or you want to see more, let me know. I'll be putting out more Legends of Runeterra content, I'm sure, as a game comes out, if I keep enjoying it. But thanks again. You're all amazing. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And so until next time, you all stay saucy. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, I do stream on Twitch Friday through Tuesday, which is 5 whole days a week, and would love to see your face stop by. So until next time, you stay saucy.